pinapangarap namin sa yung mga tao nandito ngayon na magkaroon ng kahit kaunting ilaw na kasi mga ilang araw na rin kami nagtitiis sa dilim. So, ito sa tingin ko mga tao yun, so, excited sila makita ng gabi may liwanag naman ng kahit kaunti. Well, una, hindi ko inisip kung ano man ang naging epekto sa akin ng bagyong yun. Ang ano lang dito, may katungkulan ako, responsibilidad sa barangay dahil ako nga yung barangay chairman dito. So, ang una lang, ang ano ko na lang dyan is tinanggap namin kung anong nangyari at bawat tulong naman kahit gaano kalaki, gaano kaliit, niyayakap namin.
Dito, halo-halo kami. Merong mga taga-ibang barangay, merong taga-ibang barangay at meron ding hindi taga-barangay namin na nakahalo dito sa amin.
Welcome back to Global Village. I'm Buddy Conana. Tonight's topic is solar power to the people. And joining us still is the founder and executive director of My Shelter and the Liquor of Light movement, Ilak Ancelotti Diaz. Ilak, welcome back to the second segment. Now, let's talk about, let's pick up from where we left off. So basically, for this thing to set up, your Litter of Light project, it can either be through corporate sponsors, where a company will adopt this project, let's say as part of their corporate social responsibility, or number two, a community can get together and start this as a business.
Yes.
Those are the two things.
For us, I would call it more as an extension business because we really choose women cooperatives that already have a product line, already organized.
Okay.
So let's say they have basket weaving, they have already like pottery.
So it's like,
or
it's like an
baking.
add-on.
So you add it
Yeah.
on. That way, it's
Nice.
easier for me not to treat it as a startup. There's a little bit of a loss leader, but I can also match it, no? But later on, as it grows, I just found out that these are the target cooperatives that I do instead of a very high startup. You know about startup failure rates. It's very high.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're talking, really 3 or 4, especially in women cooperatives,
Yeah.
3 or 4 out of 5 products fail because, for a variety of reasons. But if it's already a cooperative that already has their storefront,
Yeah, they have a
has their
structure, they have an
structure,
income flow, a cash
yeah,
flow
they
already.
have, it's so much easier for us to do so.
What role does your foundation play, let's say, in this whole, in the operations? I mean, where do you come in? Because you already have, let's say, the cooperatives on the ground who are doing it. What do you provide? What does your My Shelter / Litter of Light give?
So you're talking about 20 million Filipinos
Yeah.
in the country.
Yeah, just here, yeah.
You're talking, yeah, just here.
Yeah.
And plus, you're not even multiplying, the birth rates that is coming into this. You're talking about women and children that, that suffocate because of these harmful fumes that come out of not only cooking, but also kerosene lamps, this kind of dirty energy. They're the ones most affected by the lack of access to electricity. But also the fact that, there's no way for one NGO to play the messiah here. You don't want to, first of all, do short term. So sometimes when you're a manager for some kind of foundation, corporate foundation or private foundation, you want to get results right away. So you just buy imported lights, you
Yep.
give it to them, without realizing the inherent fact that the business model is for it to break. You had 1 million pesos. You spent on your 1 million pesos on, 50% of it just logistics and shipping, and then it'll break in a year and a
And
half.
that's it.
So
And that's
so,
it.
so that's
Yeah.
it. What we're trying to say is, what's the long term? So the long term is open source. Open source DIY. You must create not only knowledge but industry in the grassroots. If you have one product per town, why not create? Energy is one of the largest tick items on your budget every day, every month, every day. But the thing there is, why not create a new energy economy? Why not create it? But you cannot control it.
Yeah.
This is the bottom of the pyramid. These are people that live in 7,100 islands. So the only way to do it is to create a decentralized structure. So as I'm talking to you about this, people are reinventing it. People are finding out suppliers. People are copying it.
Okay. So from the start, at the start, you provide the initial support and the supply, but then people actually, they're open and they're free to source their stuff elsewhere. It's up to them, basically.
Well, my vision was to create, the world's largest grassroots solar lighting movement. And I come from a country where, expanding such a thing is not even, considered. It's like, you're successful in one village, you're successful there, but no Filipino organization would be as audacious, your big hairy goal, to do a global foundation. And I said, I want to see one of it. I'm not going to be the only one, and I'm sure there's other ones, but I wanted to see in my lifetime what it felt to step into Masdar, to step into, universities abroad, to be able to speak in the UN, and people recognize you not as a beneficiary, not begging, not talking about another tragedy, but saying, look, Filipinos are contributing to global humanitarian standards,
And so now,
standard of living.
Liter of Light is in 30 countries and counting. It's over 30 countries, and as I understand, it's a different model for each country.
Right.
It's not the same setup for each country. Other
Right.
countries have probably tweaked your original product, have now innovated
Yeah.
or modified, depending on on local situation.
Yeah, I mean, in Morocco we use pottery. So we use
Okay.
potteries there because we want to build. Remember, we want to build sustainable green economies using this kind of open source. We, as a foundation, we give money, but we can only go so far. So
Sure.
we really believe in looking what's available there. In Brazil, they still do plastic bottle for solar lightings. In Nepal, they use basket weaving. So it's what's available there. So the Liter of Light basically started out with that bottle in the roof. But the second product, once you save, what is the local economy and how can we build up already a skill, and then just put in a power technology into that
Very
traditional
good, very
skill.
good. Ilak, I want to show people and our viewers exactly what kind of social impact you guys have had. And the best example I can think of is what you guys did in Haiyan, in Leyte. And I think we have a video from Liter of Light that we will show now that will show exactly what you guys did over there and how you helped so many people.
And
these
and
power.
going back to why it was done,
Yes.
like how do you create one of the quickest way where people, remember I talk about corporations, it's not just the money that I get from that to expand it, but also I'm creating an army of solar engineers that once disaster strikes,
Here we go.
I
Yeah.
can tap them. I have a database
and
of
they can
thousands of them.
and they can be deployed and all that. So let's
And
watch
I have
this.
a warehouse.
Yeah, let's
So
watch this video,
putting
guys.
that together.
There we go. Liter of Light in Leyte for Typhoon Haiyan.
We need shelter, food, light.
Ang mga kuko ay nag-iiyakan sa gamot, mahirap makabili ng petrolyo.
Ngayon, unti-unti ko na mayroon ng hope sa dami nung tumutulong sa amin, and then the light, the scam, andito na po. Hawak-hawak ko na po.
Bravo, Ilak. A nice video, and I'm glad we showed it because we've been talking about litter of light, litter of light. I go
Yeah. Why
again
is it-
and
why
again,
is it a
right?
litter?
Why is it called a litter? And now finally people saw that it's actually a litter bottle of your sponsor, Pepsi Cola.
Pepsi is actually started out really with, of course, building plastic bottle schools. But then when their plant was completely destroyed, they went up and said, how can we help Tacloban? And you have to realize that these people, even the people there, the bottlers, PCPPI, was also in the midst of getting into their feet. I mean, the whole plant, all of these are built right next to the coastal areas.
Sure.
And I said, how many bottles do you have? And then they said, a factory of
A
bottles.
million.
A million. So I said, can I take it? And they said, we're not producing anything there after that. So that's why it looks so simple, with water. But instead of the roof, just give it to them for their tents. We use, straws. We use, we use the gas hose of the banqueros because we found like tons of them in shops. Of course,
Galing.
nobody was buying it. And he said, we can actually make this happen. We were using e-cigarette batteries, computer batteries, anything that we could do, put it in a PVC pipe. It might look funny that people are, but when you have absolutely no light, that thing is
The
like,
most important thing, there's light. That's it. No? It
that-
could be
that-
a Mickey
that
Mouse
one, that
statue,
one
right?
LED that we
Yeah.
bought from Cebu in Saco, actually, will keep them through, what was that, 8 months without light? I can imagine, the whole TESDA, TESDA, the
Yes.
technical center, was full of plastic bottle water lights so they can help out.
And I saw multiple uses. I saw something that looked like a street light that you've converted in.
Right, that one's dry naman.
Yeah.
So we use, in the bottle, we use like a waterproof tube or test tube. Usually use glass test tube to put it in so it doesn't get problems. But we also have PVC. As I said, we use bamboo, we use PVC, whatever we can get. But it's really this thing about, how do we make solar an industry, a green industry of the people, and not be able to tell people like, this is what we produce in scale, massive scale, no matter if you're the end user or not, but this is what we do produce in the factory and everybody else just buy it. If you want to modify it, well, we don't sell it.
Talking about modification, in a few moments, we have to pause for another break, but when you come back, your colleague, Alfred Caras, is going to join us, and we're going to actually show the audience an innovative product of Litter of Light, and this time not in a PET bottle, but actually in a lantern, and we'll do it here. So guys, stick around because more of Litter of Light and solar power to the people when Global Village returns.